This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
Oil prices edged higher on Tuesday, supported by instability in the Middle East as well as China's plans for more economic stimulus, though global growth concerns, U.S. tariffs and uncertainty over Ukraine ceasefire talks curbed gains. Brent futures rose 36 cents, or 0.5%, to $71.43 a barrel by 0700 GMT, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures rose 32 cents, or 0.5%, to $67.90. Along with U.S. strikes on the Houthis in Yemen, several factors provided support to the market, analysts said in a research note.
Alaska's governor and state representatives will visit Japan and 3 other Asian countries starting this week to court investors for a natural gas project that President Donald Trump says could pump trillions of dollars into the U.S., although Japanese energy firms remain skeptical. Officials from the state-run Alaska Gas Line Development Corporation, AGDC, and development partner Glenfarne Group will visit allied Asian countries to update industry leaders on Alaska LNG's economic and strategic competitive advantages and discuss opportunities for participation, said AGDC spokesperson Tim Fitzpatrick. The officials want to transport gas south from Alaska's remote north via a $44 billion 1,300-kilometer, 800-mile pipeline to be shipped as liquefied natural gas to Japan, South Korea and Taiwan.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Tests in Brazil exploring the viability of increasing the proportion of anhydrous ethanol mixed with gasoline to 30% showed consistent performance and real environmental benefits, Brazilian Minister of Mines and Energy Alexandre Silveira said on Monday. With E30 we will become, once and for all, independent from gasoline imports, something that has not happened since 2010, he said during a presentation to highlight the test results. Currently, gasoline in Brazil includes 27% anhydrous ethanol. A mandated raise in that proportion to 30% known as E30 would increase demand for ethanol in the South American country.
China dipped slightly into crude stockpiles in the first 2 months of the year as refiners processed more oil and imports remained weak. It was the first time in 18 months that refinery throughput exceeded the amount of crude available from imports and domestic production. Refiners processed about 30,000 barrels per day, BPD, more in the January to February period than the total of crude available, according to calculations based on official data. China does not disclose the volumes of crude flowing into or out of strategic and commercial stockpiles, but an estimate can be made by deducting the amount of oil processed from the total of crude available from imports and domestic output. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. Copper prices on the London Metals Exchange, LME, slipped from a 5-month high on Tuesday, though China's stimulus plan and a weak US dollar limited the losses. Benchmark 3-month copper on the LME slid from a 5-month high and was down 0.3% at $9,831 a metric ton, as of 0711 GMT. The US dollar wallowed near a 5-month trough, as investors grappled with the potential economic impact of growing global trade tensions. A softer dollar makes greenback-priced commodities more affordable for buyers using other currencies.
Indian steel prices will face pressure in the upcoming fiscal year as local mills grapple with cheaper imports from China and rising risks from aggressive tariff policies, Fitch Ratings said on Tuesday. The agency reduced its headroom for ratings upgrades for India's top steelmakers by market cap, JSW Steel, currently rated BB, with stable outlook, and Tata Steel, which it rates BBB, with a negative outlook. Steelmakers in China, the world's largest producer of the alloy, have been grappling with generating profits as a prolonged property downturn has hit consumption, leading to higher exports to countries such as India.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
Chicago Mercantile Exchange cattle and hog futures firmed on expectations of stronger demand from China on Monday, according to analysts, as the world's second-largest economy launched another economic stimulus plan. CME June live cattle settled up 1.725 cents at 201.075 cents per pound. CME April feeder cattle futures rose 3 cents to end at 284.2 cents per pound. Hope that demand from the world's largest meat importer will climb after the country announced a new stimulus for its flagging economy rose among investors, said Carl Setzer, partner at Consus Ag Consulting.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.